just won't work you out. You should cut off all distraction. It's so long from now, and just give me some reaction. Just won't work you out. Girl, I like the way you move. Really wanna get with you.
It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Obiuche, and great to have you here joining us. And it's the second half of 2016. 6 months gone. Our very first show in July. Very first show in the second half of the year. And like I said last week, what have you achieved? Have you achieved all you set out to achieve in the first half of 2016? How would you rate the presidency? They've celebrated their first year in office and a month plus after that. And a lot of Nigerians, of course, have very mixed reviews with regards to how the presidency has fared. And this government as a whole, with regards to the executive, the legislature, the judiciary has been very, very hot in the news as well in 2016. And so there's a lot of things that have caught our attention this year. Security, or the lack of it in the northeast, has waned from the headlines a bit. Thankfully, Boko Haram is receding. At least that's one positive to look at, even though we still hear of attacks here and there. But in the south and the southeast, things seem to be rearing their ugly heads there, and it looks like the violence has shifted base. And there's a lot to grapple with there with regards to militancy in the south and agitation for Biafra in the southeast. So there's a lot to talk about. We're going to be looking at the week that was, as we always do on the show today. And here I have here with me a very special guest of mine who you've been here before. Yeah. This is not your first time. Thanks for coming here today. Is it Okeke or Okereke?
Okereke.
Okereke, Chidi Okereke. Yeah. I just wanted to be sure. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
I talked about the government. I want to start with that now, the executive and the legislature. And they've been hot in the news in the last week. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, and his Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, have been in court fighting a case of forgery. There's been accusations and counter-accusations from the Senate saying that it's a witch hunt from we don't know who. They haven't named any names. We also heard quotes from the Senate President saying there's a government within the government. The government has said, okay, can you name what government this is? So there's a lot of talk going on. We also hear that the Senate did say, I think it was in the papers yesterday or today, saying that, you know what, they are now going to go head on and pay back the presidency in its own coin. So we don't know what's going to be going forward. But for a party that has the majority in the National Assembly and holding the presidency, why is this happening?
A lot of people have said the APC knew how to oppose, but it's being the actual owners of power, being the incumbents is really tough on them because they don't know how to do it. The PDP did it for a long time, and then the APC is grappling with how to handle power and all that. I think the genesis of this whole situation is how the Senate President got in the first place. I mean, we all know who they wanted to be Senate President and all that, and how he seemingly hijacked the whole thing and became the Senate President. So, is it really a witch hunt? I mean, it's a valid question. It's really a valid question. If people are saying it's a witch hunt, they are not very, very wrong. They are not very, very far from the truth. They could be wrong as well. It might just be an innocent attack on the Senate President's person, but it could also be the fact that he's sort of aligned. He's sort of not doing what the party wants him to do, so he's being singled out. I mean, I always say one thing. If the fight against corruption is genuine, I'm a supporter of the president, by the way, for those who don't know, but if the fight against corruption is genuine, I think it should cut across everybody, all parties, all regions. Everybody should feel the brunt.
So do you think there are sacred cows in this government?
Well, as far as some people who are corrupt, some people who we know are corrupt are not being tried, I can say they are sacred cows indeed. There are some people who are being singled out for this. As far as some people who should be tried for corruption are not being tried, somebody could say.
We keep hearing this saying that this thing you said as well, where there are people who should be, but nobody ever really comes up with these names. And even when the names come up, we're like, okay, so what are the cases against them? How come we seem to be sure that they are corrupt, but nothing has come up against them?
Oh, so somebody is in power for a long time. Somebody has done certain things. Somebody has been probed by the polity, of course, probed by the people. Somebody has been seen to have done stuff that the person shouldn't have done over time. These things will build up. These stories will build up. And, I mean, behind every rumor like this, behind stories like this, there's always an atom of truth. almost every politician has dipped his hand in the proverbial pie. Almost every one of them. So if some of them are in government, some of them who have done these things. I mean, you just said they've not been named, and when they've been named, the issues are not named alongside them. But then nobody wants to. I mean, the polity is not very safe. Nobody wants to be shot or something.
I don't think we're going to get there. But still sticking with the Senate president now and the case going on, there's talk about, like I said, why is this happening now? Is it calculated? Does that excuse the fact that there's probably a case? Is this something that's a valid argument to have with regards to, okay, why is it us and why now?
Let me start with the why now issue. Somebody will say, if not now, when? I mean, if you want to try corruption, if you want to try people who have been corrupt, why not start from the very top? Why not do it? And then some other people will say some people are trying to retrogress the government. That's why the government within the government, as rumored by or as alluded by the Senate presidents, that's why something like that exists. So it's retrogressive, really. It really is retrogressive. I mean, laws that should be passed. The official Senate of the business, official business of the Senate is being hampered by trials up and down. But then if it must be done, let it be done.
We did see a quote, I think it was a tweet, I'm not sure now, by the president, saying something along the lines of, until if you really want to be free or something, then if you want the witch hunt or whatever it is, not in those words now to stop, then step aside or something. Yeah. So it's more like it came across like as if they were doing this to make him leave office, and then when he leaves office, cases will be dropped. Is this something that he should start considering now, talking about the Senate president, seeing as, like you said, there's a case after the other, we've talked about the Code of Conduct Tribunal, that's still ongoing, the forgery case has now come up, we don't know what next might be thrown at him, a whole year of legislative life is gone, we don't know how much has been achieved, what's going to happen in the next 2 years, seeing as the third year from now is going to be campaigns again,
So far it's been him grabbing at straws, it's been him struggling from one trial to the other. Yes,